What's up, guys? One of the portfolio brands that we've been working with actually makes over $500,000 a month now. It's been existing for over, almost 3 months now, less than 3 months actually, which is super great case study. But that's not even what it's going to be about. Basically, I'm going to talk about the hiring process and how you can shift your mindset as a dropshipper in order to actually be a businessman. Because every single dropshipper that I speak to, for some reason, they think, I know why that is, because obviously on YouTube, if you look at any ecom video, you always see, okay, this is the way to do research. This is the way to, use AI properly. This is the way to, copyright, whatever. So it's like most dropshippers think they're going to write all the video scripts themselves, right? The image ads, right? Maybe all the customer support emails and everything, all the email marketing, all the conversion rate optimization, all the offer A/B tests, all the AI automations, everything, all the surveys, all the research, all the media buying. They think they're going to make literally every part of the process themselves. But this is the formula of how to burn out. I can already tell you that this is not going to work super long term, and you are not going to be able to get really good at every single one of these things, because every single one of these things is a separate, complete full-time job. I can tell you that. So what it's actually going to look like in reality, and this is where you make big money, and this is actually every single time in any business that you play it big, you're not in the business of writing copy. You're not in the business of using AI properly. You're not in the business of media buying, of doing research. You are in the business of people. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Scaling means more people in a business. That's all it means, because you get more ideas, more brains, more people thinking in the business, and you have your time back. Because if you do this, then you haven't built yourself a business, you've built yourself a job. Okay, you've built yourself a high-paying job. And obviously, I'm going to go ahead and take a big assumption that that's not what you want. Okay, so what you want is actually instead is a business where it works technically without you, without any so-called key man risk. And so all the stuff that we talked about, which is copywriting, video ads, right? Graphic design, customer support, right? Conversion rate optimization, AI automation, surveys, research, media buying, all these things are going to be taken over by separate departments and groups of people, and basically management positions over everyone. You essentially, as the founder, right, or some type of shareholder as a business, don't have, or shouldn't at the end of the day, have any operative function inside of the business. You should work on the business and not in the business. You are in the business of people. Every business model, it doesn't matter if you're dropshipping, if you're doing ecom, or if you're doing software companies, or if you're doing a service business. You're always, when you scale, this is what you need to understand. This is the mindset shift, okay? So what I actually wanted to talk about in this video is what is the difference between attitude and aptitude, okay? So this is something which I actually took from Alex Hormozi, because I think this is 100% true, and I really like this concept. I just wanted to kind of also present it to you guys, because this is what we've been following for brands that I've just showed you before, to hire fantastic people and how to properly train, how to know what to look for. So attitude, like you already know, attitude is basically, do you personally resonate with the person? Are they actually not a D head, okay? Are they just a cool person overall? Do they kind of know how to communicate properly? Are they a cool, learnable, open to learn, open to communicate, Slack using whatever person, okay? Now, aptitude is just the skill set. So how much does that person actually know? And so it's two different things that you look for when you hire people. And so a lot of people like to first look for attitude and then train aptitude. And a lot of people, the other way around. It's like, okay, I just want skill. I don't care about their attitude, right? I don't care if I resonate with them or not. Well, what you look for, right, is what's super important to understand is both are trainable. Like you can train attitude just like you can train the skill and aptitude. Super important to understand. But the question you got to ask yourself is, first of all, what is the position that I'm hiring for? And second of all, what is easier to train at this specific person that I'm looking at and this candidate? And so what you actually look for when you start looking for people, when you start having a talent acquisition funnel, let's say a paid ads funnel, and you're going to a bunch of different, opt-ins for people that actually want to work for you. Okay, cool. Let's say you're hiring a graphic designer. Now, what matters in a graphic designer? Probably not that there's this craziest, super high skilled person with years of graphic design experience. You don't really care about that. The person should be open to learn. The person should be communicative, fast response times. The person should be cool, right? You don't want headaches. You should just take work off of your plate. Or even easier example, customer support. For a low leverage activity, you just want to have people with good attitude, because there's not a lot of aptitude required, right? It's a skill which literally everyone can have and everyone can develop. So what's super important is finding someone with a good attitude, right? And then training aptitude, which is basically the skill set. So it's like, okay, you give them a couple like things that to like a couple templates of how to reply and, how to properly communicate with the customers and, how to handle returns, what kind of policies, etc. Okay, that's what you tell them. That's aptitude. Now, I want to give you a completely different example, right? Think of a creative strategist, or even worse, a CMO, okay, Chief Marketing Officer. What would you look for? Obviously for aptitude. Here, it's super important to hire someone who already has the skill set, who already has crazy high aptitude. And so if you have a candidate which lacks attitude, right, but has a really good skill set, has been doing this for years, has worked for other brands, is really maybe even a headhunting, right? Maybe he already has a job with a non-compete or whatever, and you're just trying to get him out of there by offering him a lot more money, okay? If that's what you do, then that's very likely a really good person. Now, if that person has a bad attitude, it is trainable. And at some point, like this is usually when you hire these high positions because you're scaling super high and need these management positions or these super high positions. Once you start training attitude as a business owner, that's when you know you've made it. That's when you know you're making a lot of money, is when you actually start training attitude in high skilled people, okay? And I want you guys to, this video, not going to be super long, right? And this is pretty much it for this video, but what I just really wanted to point out here is the mindset shift that you have to have as a dropshipper, right? Because all of this stuff that you are doing right now is not in any world going to be the stuff that you're going to be doing forever. And even if it was, you just built yourself a job and not a business. So that was pretty much it for this video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you a beautiful day.